Hello and welcome to Mad Maze's screencast. um, in the screencast, I will be going over the game checklist over Week 1's and Week 2's game. I'll show the code that I've created or utilized from Unity 3D in the tutorials. Along with that, I also give credit to some of the texture objects and the physical features of some of my objects to some of the Unity 3D tutorials as well. So with that, we'll get started and try to get this taken care of quickly. So this is my code. Start with the very top script I have is the accelerometer input. I was able to take this directly from Unity's site and utilize it for what I wanted. Mad Maze is the concept behind the game is to take this cube and move it through the game and try to find the exit. It doesn't specify what the exit is, but you kind of know it when you see it. It's just a mouse hole in the wall. That said, very simple. It's a vector 3. Uses the input acceleration on the x and z axis, and simple math coordinates there with an if statement to normalize the direction. And it smooths out the frames by using time.delta time, and then the positions orchestrated by the transform.translate direction times speed, or dir times speed. The second script I created was regarding the game controller, or the camera controller. Pretty simple. The camera just hovers above the player. And the offset is what coordinates the fixed frame of the camera. So as the player is moving along, the camera just hovers above them the whole time. Kind of a third-person view. The third script is the game timer. I utilized a basic timer for this and a text object. The focus here, we've got a timer and timer elapsed for an integer and a float. We have a Boolean, you lost, and then text is going to be text, and that correlates to the timer itself on the screen for the UI. So when we call the void awake function, the timer references to go get the text component of the UI, and we set that timer at 160. It's a 2-minute countdown. Once that is finished, during the update function, time elapsed variable increases over time, and then we take the timer script, so it's a little string here, and we add in the timer, so 160 seconds, minus the amount of the time elapsed, and I turned that into an integer so we didn't have 3 decimal points constantly counting down. It makes it a little nicer and smoother looking. But that gives the timer countdown. Basis behind that is, time runs out, you lose. So a simple if statement. If timer minus time elapsed is less than or equal to 0, you lose. Once that happens, we call that uLose function. The uLose function is pretty simple. It's just going to automatically load them to uLost. I did hard code timer as 160. I could have created a public variable that we could have set that up in the game, so we could have adjusted that, but I found that 160 seconds is more adequate for my current one-level game. Along with that, I suppose we could have said something like -seconds just to make it different than any other game that's time-based, but 0 is fine for this one as well. The next one here is a basic way of changing scenes. My game starts out with a splash screen to go into the home screen, or main menu, and what I did is I have the screen pop up, it waits 3 seconds, and then it loads to the home screen. That's exactly what the script is showing. It's in JavaScript. I was able to learn both some JavaScript capabilities and C++ in this. And then my last function here is this win game function. In the event that you do find the exit, there's a sphere collider there. As the player hits that collider, it loads the win screen. That is the basic script behind this. Again, I use basically the accelerometer. I didn't have time or the understanding how to input multiplayer, but I imagine I'll do that at the next game. But I will show. Okay, so now I'm actually going to show you the game. I'm having an issue using my camera on my my MacBook here, so I'm going to show you the game here. I'm going to show you it on my phone so I can show the accelerometer actually working. But this will give you a better view of the particles that I've put in there and the basic physics and that kind of thing. So without further ado, here we go. Starts off at the splash screen just like this. Wait 3 seconds. And we now have Major Ball Maze. I'm not sure if you can actually hear the music playing, but there is music playing right now. We're going to quick start game. It should take us right into it. And it does. And new music loads along with that when it starts up. There's a particle system behind the object showing where the rear of the item is. I was going to add it to where it actually went around, but I didn't have time to do that. So something I'll have to do as at a further revision if I decide to come back to this game. Basic premise again. We have the timer up here, and you're traversing a maze. That was the exit of the game. So it shows that one here. From here we can go back and exit or click restart game. I'll go ahead and restart the game. I jumped forward a little bit to show the timer go a little bit faster. I guess here would be nice if I didn't have that hard-coded. Again, the basic premises: find the exit of the maze in 120 seconds or less, or you lose. That's what we're trying to show here. And then once the splash screen loads with the, the UI loads with the lost screen, we'll go back to the main menu. Twenty seconds to go. And oh, we lost. And it's playing more music now. I'm going to click exit to go back to the home screen. And we're back where we started. I will load up the very bad capability of my MacBook here and get it started on an actual video.